Jessii Vee, and as you can tell by the title of today's video, we're gonna be talking about love potions. I feel like I should have made this video around Valentine's Day, but too late now. Love potions sound like a really happy, magical thing, but actually, they are so dark and scary. So we're gonna get into the history of them, how to make them, and then I'm gonna tell you guys a very scary creepypasta. But before we get started, let's talk about the backdrop behind me. If you guys didn't see from my last video, I have a new background for May, and it's actually the Coraline house. If you guys have never seen this movie, this is basically the Pink Palace is what they call it, and she lives in like a woodsy area, and I just love this backdrop so much. So if you guys would like to win this, all you have to do is be subscribed to this channel, so my Jessii Vee channel, turn on your notification bell, and then head over to my Twitter page, follow me there, and comment on my pinned tweet. The question is, if you could have any magical power ever, what would you choose? And I will be announcing the winner of this Coraline backdrop in a couple weeks. Well, probably more like 3 weeks. Before we get started, I just wanted to remind you guys that we have restocked the rainbow sparkly narwhals onto the website. I don't know how long they're gonna last, but they're up there right now if you want to click the link down below in the description. But as you can see up close, they have like magical tummies and like rainbow horns, and their eyes are so cool. So if you guys would like one, the link is down below in the description. In mythology and fiction, a love potion is designed to create feelings of love. So if you want someone to fall in love with you, you give them this pink smoky juice. And it's kind of messed up if you really think about it, because you're making someone love you against their will. So you're like forcing them to like be with you, and I don't like that very much. Oh, actually, before we really get started, because we're talking about potions, this actually reminds me of something that I did as a kid, and tell me if you did this too. Whenever I would have like bath time, I would sit in the bath and I would make my own potions out of like shampoos and soaps and like body wash and stuff. So I would like mix it all together and create this like cool potion. Did you guys do that too? Okay, it was like so much fun to like mix the different colors together and like mix the scents and stuff. I'm also just crazy though. Okay, so like I said, love potions have been pictured in different like fiction and mythology, and one that's very popular is actually in Harry Potter. The love potion in that movie is called Amortentia. I hope I'm saying that right. All the Harry Potter fans, don't come for me. Amortentia is the most powerful love potion in the world. It is distinctive for its mother of pearl sheen, and steam rises from the potion in spirals. Amorentia smells different to each person according to what attracts them. And I think that's what's really cool about the love potion in Harry Potter, is that everyone smells it differently. So whatever you like, you'll be attracted to it. So I guess my love potion would smell like pizza. And that's okay. Actually, comment down below what love potion would smell like to you. It basically has to be like your favorite smell in the entire world. So for example, in the movie, Hermione Granger smells fresh cut grass, new parchment, and Ron Weasley's hair. And Harry Potter smells treacle tart, the woody scent of a broomstick handle, and Ginny Weasley. So those are the things that those two characters smell, which I find so interesting. Now let's get into the history of people who actually tried to create love potions in real life way back in the day. Love potions date back to the 16th century. So the recipes back then actually called for parts of animals, which is so disturbing and sad. These recipes would call for anything from the fat of a snake, the head of a sparrow, the blood of a bat, the heart of a pigeon. Those were like the common things to put into love potions. But like, don't do that, okay? Animals are precious and we must protect them at all costs. Flowers have also always been associated with romance, and a common love charm method was to plant marigold flowers in the footsteps where the object of your affection has walked. So if you see like your crush walk by through the grass or something, you would literally plant these flowers where he stepped, and then he would love you. Now there were also some people back in the day who would put human ingredients into these love potions. So you know when you hear the phrase where someone says, "Oh, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into that cake," which basically means it just took like a really long time. They put all their effort into making a cake. Well, back in the day, people would actually put their blood, sweat, and tears into a love potion. Ew. And there's so much more history we could go into about love potions, but a lot of it is actually really disturbing and gross. So if you want to do your own research, that's totally your call. But right now we're gonna be getting into the very creepy love potion creepypasta. This is about a 21-year-old man who buys a love potion to win over the affection of his crush, and things go very, very, very wrong. So this man went on a holiday to the Bahamas, and when he arrived at his hotel, everything looked beautiful, everything was to his liking, the weather was perfect, the beach was immaculate, the hotel was high class. Basically, this Bahamas resort was everything he had ever wanted. So he went to his room and tried to make himself look as handsome as possible. So he did his hair, he put on a nice shirt, and then he went down to the hotel bar hoping to meet somebody. And as soon as he got there, he saw this woman standing there in a red dress. She had long dark hair, deep brown eyes, red lips, and he was totally enchanted by her. He instantly had a crush on her. It even says in this creepypasta that he fell in love with her upon seeing her. So he gathered up some courage and walked over to her, hoping they could strike up a conversation. So he went up and smiled and asked if he could buy her a drink. But all she did was put her hand up like this and rejected him. And that really hurt him. He felt really rejected, disappointed, so he walked back to his hotel room. Now, the next day he went down to the bar, he saw this woman in the red dress again, and he thought, you know what? I'm gonna give this one last shot. So he walked up to her and said, "My name's Josh. What's yours?" And once again, she put her hand up like this, but what she said was so mean. She says,
"I would rather chew my own leg off than talk to you."
and this is quite a mean response. And listen, ladies, you have the right to not talk to somebody if you don't want to, but I feel like there's a way to do it, like, respectfully. So he felt sad and once again went to his room. Now, the next day he was exploring the town, and he came across this old woman who was selling stuff by the side of the street. She had a sign on this table that said spell casting and black magic, and he was instantly intrigued by this. So he walked over to her and he asked her if she had anything that would make someone fall in love with him. So she smiled and pulled out this pink bottle with a red heart on it. She said it was love potion. So of course the man wanted this and eagerly paid for it. And as he was walking away, the old woman called over to him and said, "Make sure you only put 1 drop into a drink, because if you put more than that, something bad will happen." So at this point of the story, you know that's kind of like foreshadowing. You know something is about to go down. So that night, the man strode down to the bar and went up to that woman in the red dress, and when she wasn't looking, he put the whole bottle of love potion into her drink. Oh my goodness, man, what are you thinking? And also, just generally, never put something into someone's drink. Not cool. 20 minutes later, this woman turned to him and she had these huge pupils in her eyes. She was in love with him. She ran over, hugged him. She was like, "I love you so much." So he finally got what he wanted. He wanted this affection from this woman in the red dress. So they spent the rest of the day together. It says they were almost like newlyweds. They were so happy to be spending time together. And when morning came, this woman decided to go and surprise him with some breakfast. So she left the hotel, and on her way across the street, a car came over and hit her, and she unfortunately passed away. So the young man found out, and of course he spent the whole day crying. He was so upset, couldn't believe this happened to her, because he was having such good luck and all of a sudden this bad luck happened. So that night, after finding out about this tragic accident, he got into bed and he just couldn't sleep. He said he felt like something was watching him. He felt as though there was another presence in the room aside from his. So he turned over to go to sleep, but suddenly saw a crouched figure in the corner of his room, and that crouched figure was wearing a red dress. As he peered closer at this thing, he saw it was the woman that he had fallen in love with, but she was all beaten up, all messed up from the accident. So she just looked very disfigured and scary. Her face was like all messed up. She basically looked like a skeleton. Oh, and she also had no teeth, so it was a very disturbing sight. But before he had any chance to react, she quickly crawled over on top of his bed and started kissing him and saying,
"Oh, I love you so much."
And her toothless face was all over him, and it's just so disgusting, and that's how the story ended. So basically, even in her death, she was still affected by this love potion and still came to him in her afterlife. I read this and I was so disturbed by it, and it just shows you, don't put love potion in people's drinks, especially not the whole bottle. Anyways, so guys, I thought that would be an interesting story to tell today. If you have any other cool or creepy facts about love potions, definitely comment them down below. But I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Bye.